What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Monday live stream. My name is Guillaume. Welcome to the channel. Please, if you like that video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to support me in what I do on this channel, with the wing, with the live stream, with anything live sound related, wing related, become a member or a super member of the channel. And if you want to get notification when I'm going live, like right now, we're live. Ring the bell when you subscribe to the channel. It will be much appreciated. So welcome. Without further ado, let's go to my view here. I want to make sure that I can see the chat. Please, guys, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I see there's a couple people already. Let me know if it's working. Is this a cooking show? Because I would like to have some poutine. It could be. It will be the one after this one. This is the wing live stream. This is not a cooking show yet, but I can definitely do some poutine cooking at some point, even if it's never as good at home as it is at the restaurant. If you ever had a famous Quebec poutine, homeland of the poutine. Please, guys, tell me that you can hear me. What's up? I want to know if it's working, because when I'm doing new setup like this one, I'm always afraid that something's not gonna work. Like, will I see the chat? Will something break? Loud and clear. Oh damn. Works. It appears to be working. Damn, I will have to do that show. Welcome, guys. Okay, let me set my stuff up here so I can always see you guys in the chat and see what's going on. So, like the title said, and I know Mixing Lane on Facebook is already firing up the comment section saying that I'm making bold statement of for using two-word, shouldn't buy, and useless. That went more fiery than I was expected. Okay, let's be honest. This is not clickbait. I do not recommend you to buy both, and I said in my statement, both internal and external card, because it's useless to have both of them. Do I play around with word? A little bit. It's a funny play on word here. Let me explain you what's happening. I'm going to switch to this view right here. Hey, lost sound on screen change. Yes, because I forgot to put my sound capturing device. So we're back. Okay, sorry, forgot to put my camera in. So rearrange the window, and I was about to say, you can see right now on my screen that I have both Dante Brooklyn card into my wing. One is in the internal slot. I just bought that little card right here. Can you guys see this? If I'm doing this, the camera will be happy. I bought this last week, and I show how to install it in the console last week. That little card, like the one that I have here, if I block my eyes and I go something like this, you will see that little Brooklyn Dante card. This one has been removed from the console because this one is a little bit unfunctional. I think I covered that last week, but in case you didn't watch the show, I bought this one from a Soundcraft SI external card, tried to flash it, and tried to repair that card because I broke one of the capacitor on top of it, and I did put a new capacitor on top, a new coil actually, I should say. It's been playing around. I've tried to solder that stuff on, and it's not working anymore. It's responsive, but it's dropping in and out, so it's probably gonna end up on eBay for parts. Maybe some really knowledgeable user can fix it, because it's responding from channel 2, but from channel 1 it's dead and it's dropping in and out, so I just don't have time to play around with it. It could be a part donor for your other card that is broken if you do some micro level soldering. It's up to you. It's going to be up for grab on eBay really cheap, so eventually that will be up for sale. So like I said, I got that card internal. Well, the one that was in that box is currently in the console. You can see it on the screen in the Dante controller. And I also bought that thing which is the external Dante card, and I had that for a long time. It's been a couple of months since I put the card from this card inside the console, flashed the firmware on it, it became a internal card. So now I swap things around, remove my internal previously available card in there, and I just inserted this new one and the real internal card into the internal slot of the console. Got my way around. So right now I got two cards. Basically, I got two internal Dante card, 64 input from this one right here, 64 input from, 64 channel in and out from both. So I got a total of 128 in and out. Dante available on the console. Wow. Seems like a really good way to have 128 input on your Dante or on your network and use this to record huge band. And this is where the title of this video come true. Nope. Not working. And I guilty of made the mistake. I've made the same mistake as you probably thinking is, oh, I can probably have 128 input from my console with two cards and link them together like I'm doing right now. You guys can probably not see it, but I'm running out of this card. Actually, I'm using the primary I'm using the primary port to send into my computer, secondary port into the other port of the wing. I can see both cards, because you can see them too on Dante controller. I can have this one, I can have this one. They are both readable by the console. They are both accessible. If I want to route some Dante stuff in here, I could do this. But the thing is, when I go to my virtual Dante sound card, virtual sound card from Dante is the right word I should be using here. This thing right here, when I want to record 128 input or output, or use this to do virtual sound check or virtual processor, whatever, that stuff. I forgot to put my phone on hold like I'm always doing. When you have that, you say, okay, I'm going to fire up Dante virtual sound card. But the thing is, even if I have two card on the other hand, I'm only limited to 64 in and out from my computer. There's a workaround. You cannot run two instances of Dante virtual sound card. If it's the workaround that you guys were thinking, the real workaround would be to use two computer and just use two computer to run basically to grab input and output or send out input and output from those devices. You can probably do some like session work from these card with two computer, like having many computer on the same network and sync them in a way. But honestly, it's gonna be more for playback or for recording than playback if somebody wants to have 128 input. But there's a workaround. hold on. I did not forget the idea of having more than 64 in and out on Mac OS, and I'm pretty sure there's a way to do this on Windows, but I'm a Mac guy, so maybe you guys can help me out with this. You can create a aggregated device with both Wing Dante USB audio and with the Wing Dante card. I don't know how to speak English anymore. I'm mixing up words, probably because I'm really tired. But you can create a aggregated device where you can record up to 112 channel at the same time into a DAW session. Could be Logic, could be Cubase, could be whatever you guys wants to use as your DAW. Could be Reaper, could be anything. You can create a aggregated device, use that, and record at the same time 128 input, 112 input. But how do you do that? You would need to do some routing. On Windows, you can't. Oh, really? That's bad. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It's not the Windows fault, or just buy a damn MacBook. Seriously. Okay. Seriously. Get a cheap MacBook if you really want to get that working, or build yourself a Hackintosh like I did. Just saying. You got a Hackintosh. Okay, good. You're good. You got a Hackintosh. We're on it. Hackintosh for the win. So that would be the way that you can create more than 64 audio of Dante, or having, because you can use this, you can still use the card and do some routing inside the console. I'm not gonna go over that today because my setup is not built for the Wing to be filmed today, because I'm gonna take it out for show, and didn't feel like I needed to show it on the Wing. There's a lot of video on how to do routing on the Wing, but just know that if you have both card in there, you can assign whatever input and output from the Dante card, like any other source available on the Wing. Could be your AS50, could be ASCBU, could be your whatever. Recording 64 track with aggregated and 2x32, yeah, that will work. That will work too. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Okay, out of subject question here from Danny that I'm gonna try to answer quickly. I just popped in to see if anyone knows what it means when a AS50 link indicator is amber instead of green. I would not know. I don't know. I'm always running them in green. Anybody in the chat know the answer to this one? Okay, great workaround also here from Rob, and I don't know if I covered that, but yes, this is also a way to do it. You can run two computer. Both computer will record simple, accurately, and you will be able to sync that in post if you want to record more than 112 input from your Wing. If it's an option for you to get a laptop next to the console, you can record network and USB at the same time. But if you want to have more, because we always want more, you can do this that way. Okay, apparently what that means is your firmware on the DL32 isn't up to date. So if you got a amber light or a yellow light on your AS50 sync, that means you are just not up to date. But my question is it working? Is it still working with the amber light, or it's not? It's still working. Okay. No, it doesn't work. Oh, okay. Well, you would need to do a firmware update then. It's working, it's working, it's working. Okay. Yeah, red doesn't work. This is what I thought. Okay. So, as a proof of concept, I'm just gonna start a virtual sound check, virtual sound card, not a virtual sound check. I don't want to start a virtual sound check. Virtual sound card, and show you guys some option. And while we're at it, I can probably try to do a firmware update on the card that I want to sell. So it will be this card right here, if Dante allowing me to do this. Just for fun, I'm going to close that window and see that I have my iMac Pro, and I could use any of the 64 channel available and patch that into my Mac, or the other way around, in and out. That would work. So to answer the title of this video, it's useless to get two cards. You can only record inside of a single computer. 64 Dante, in and out, or playback Dante, in and out. And if you create a aggregated device, you can go up to 112, which I believe it will be enough for a lot of people. And it could be any combination of other Dante stuff. Could be a Rio that you take out of a other console. Let's say that you have a Yamaha console next to you, and the guy don't have his laptop to record the show. You can just like run that into your console, and or use some of his stuff with the Dante card and record that into your laptop. Once you are on the Dante network, you can basically talk to any machine that is Dante compatible on there, as long as you respect the limited amount of input and output from your computer. What else? Before I move on to that, so yeah, I think I've been clear. It's not worth it to buy both card. You just need one of them. One of them will be enough for you to get you going. And with the 112 workaround, you're good for anything. Now, okay, let's do some real stuff right now, because we've only been live for 20 minutes, and there's no way I'm gonna stop right there. Let me try to do an update on the card. I know it says wing. It says Lorty wing internal, but it's not internal anymore. It's what used to be my internal card that was originally coming from this box, from this external card that I dropped in the wing. Let's try to do a firmware update. Let's see what's happening. Unable to start Dante updater. Really? Okay. Why can't I update that? Let's go and take a look at this. I'm gonna close that Dante controller window, and I'm gonna pop that one where you guys can see it. Okay, I have this. I have this. I can change the name if I wanted to on my card. I can change the network config. I don't want to do that. And I can change the AES67 config. I'm not a huge... I don't have a lot of knowledge on AES67, but I believe Dante is a derivation of that standard AES67. Why 67? Why? Sorry, I'm not the right guy to ask these questions. But maybe somebody in the chat know the answer to this one, but I don't know. Let me see what's going on in the chat. The Dante PCR card can do 128 channel. I think it can do 256. I believe, because I took a look at those, I believe they are only 128 channel in and out. I think it's 256 channel counting basically in and out. But to my knowledge, could be wrong, but they are all labeled as 128 by 128 channels. So 256 would be a stretch, or you would need two cards to do this from your network. And I don't know if you reach the maximum limit of the network, by going 256 channel. I think it's start to be a lot of data. And also worth notice for those of you who wants to work with 96K stuff, not 48K stuff, you need to divide the amount of channel in half, is my understanding from the quick research that I did today looking for PCI card. Don't quote me on that. I don't quote me on much Dante wise other than the wing stuff. I did my little bit of research on these. I know what I'm saying is fairly true. Maybe I got some information wrong. I'm no Dante expert. Is just a result of what I've learned here, not a full-on expertise on Dante setup. But for now, I don't know why my Dante updater doesn't want to start. I don't think. Can you guys see this? Yeah, Dante updater doesn't want to start. Anybody in the chat know what to do with this one? This is the point where I'm going to start to ask you guys what's going on, because I'm a little bit stuck. And I can start to close stuff around, but I'm a little bit stuck here. And if you allow me to do this, something like this, I can have my camera on top of it. Update Dante controller. Maybe I can try to update Dante controller. Let me close this and we'll see what's going on. I can go here, here. You guys will see my face for a few seconds in big too close shot, intimidating me. We'll look for Dante controller, and I see. Let's see if I do an update. If I do an update, will it work? Dante controller is free, by the way. If you have, or if you don't have Dante controller and you need to work with some Dante stuff, Dante controller is free, and that software will allow you to work your way around connection for Dante, but it will not allow you to record. It's not a virtual sound card. Virtual sound card is not free. You have to pay for it. It's a small fee for a lifetime license. This is what I bought. So don't worry, Rob. I'm just having a hard time with the Dante updater. I'm just gonna do my fresh install of the latest version of Dante controller and see if it's popping out. If not, well, it's going to be a short stream talking about Dante. Or if you guys have any question about Dante, maybe I can try to answer these with you and other people in the chat. We got some really knowledgeable people in this community. I think it's fair to call it a community. We are all together here, try to answer a question every Monday. There's a lot of people that come in frequently to help. And again, I'm just one of the guys like you. I do have some advanced knowledge on sound mixing and stuff like that, but when it comes to more networking stuff or program stuff, I'm new to this. This has only been 2 years since I started to do broadcasts and learn how to do networking, and before that was just mixing shows, and not working with video, not working with network stuff. This is all new to me. This is all new from the last 2 years because the pandemic forced me in that corner to learn how to do some broadcasts, how to do rewire and dealing around with Dante. I was not faced with these things day to day, so I really know how to mix a show, but when it comes to networking and other stuff like that, this is a little bit new for me. But I understand that pretty much good enough. At least we can talk about it. Okay. Really interesting question here from Mixing Lane. Maybe Dante updater not working because there are 2 cards found, one in internal slot and one in external expansion slot. Don't know much experience with it, but I believe Yeah, I believe, like Rob is saying, that the Dante updater can handle multiple Dante card on the network, because from my experience dealing with the Dante stuff to a place where I'm working, we have a lot of Dante device. We have Dante amplifier from Yamaha. Right there, I'm running a TF1 with a external card for Dante, so I have 64 channel of Dante there, and we have some other stuff. We have some little Dante box, Dante stage box with a single input and output, and no, I believe it's a 4 input. I have one XLR, two RCA, and another input could be a mono 1/8 from that little box, and I can control the gain from there. And it can handle firmware update for this device fine with all that stuff on the network, because Dante, it's a network. You can network device together. It's not like AS50 you need to have a direct connection from, let's say, a console to a stage box, where Dante, everybody is on the same network, and it's more like a computer network where you have a lot of computers together on the same network, and they're all talking to each other. You can make them talk one to another the way that you want. So Dante is closer to this than just a typical, just like running a cable between two devices. I will invite you, if you want to learn more about Dante, to go take your Dante certification. It's a couple hour of watching videos and a couple tests, and you will get your Dante certification. This is something that I didn't do, but I would recommend you to do it. I will do mine really soon. Actually, I want to learn, because I'm faced to work with Dante more and more every day. I'm going to take the course, and I will learn all that stuff. Like Rob is saying, the definition of Dante is point to multi-point. So it's a single point on a network, like a console or a computer that you broadcast. Am I wrong to say this is multicast stuff? Or I'm mixing terms here? Probably not the best thing to do. So, okay, I'm not going to say much about that. But you have Charlie's got 5 Dante devices right now. It's unicast and multicast. So I would not know the complete difference with them. I think unicast is a single line of communication between two devices, where multicast is one device that just like output to everything on the network, and you can grab whatever you want as it's flying by you. So basically. But again, we're just having fun here. I'm no Dante expert. Some people in the chat are way more knowledgeable than I do when it comes to Dante and the whole definition of what's happening behind it. Yeah, the training that is available on the Dante website apparently is really good. So please don't. We're just having fun here. Don't try to learn from me for Dante. We're just gonna talk some stuff. I'm gonna apply it to my reality, which is connecting console and doing firmware update. But other than that, nope, nothing is gonna happen there. So if you give me a second here, I'm just gonna install the Dante controller, or the latest version of the Dante controller, and I hope I don't have to restart. As soon as I can get that in, we'll see if I can do a update for you guys. Yes, okay. Installation successful. It's allowed in my system. I can do this, I can do this. And I can go close and try to fire that back on. Let's see. Let me see if I can get you guys up to speed with me. If I just go with Dante controller. Nope, that's virtual sound card. Dante controller. And we're going to go here back again to this scene. So, okay, we got Dante controller back on. We got the latest version of it. I can probably make that a little bigger. Okay, Can we do... Oh, actually, no. I'm seeing all 3 cards. Can we do an update? Oh, we have an update. Firmware update available. When I click on it, what's happening? I can now allow it. Can you guys see it? The Dante updater? Hold on. Let me enable that in the screen capture. Dante updater. Okay. It's not in front of the window for you. I will change the order of this to this. There you go. You guys can see the Dante updater. I'm gonna move it out of the way. So, what's going on here? Okay, I have first a out of date card, which is now my internal card. So we're gonna make sure that we got that up to speed. It's product version 1.1, Dante version. Oh, it's behind. So okay, to do an update, it's the first time that I'm doing an update. Update selected device. When I click it, I'm gonna go here. Update selected device. Do not power off. I don't understand, the audio will be interrupted. We're not doing Dante right now for my camera. It's really my camera that's picking up the sound, so it should not cut any sound right now if I press update. Sorry, it's just my network stuff that's popping up. So doing the update will give me time to read you guys. Okay, really interesting here. Comment from Rob. Avoid static IP for Dante. Dante use audio assigned address unless there's a specific reason. And I understand why, and it's because when you put everything in DHCP, if you have a conflict of IP address on your network, your Dante card will just assign to another address, and it doesn't really matter, because when you are doing connection on your Dante stuff, I believe it's working by name. It could be MAC address. MAC address is a unique ID on every single device that has a network port. So it could be MAC address. It could be set by name. So if you have a device that is called, let's say, Wing internal card, as long as you have your Wing internal card device plugged to the network to another computer that is looking for Wing internal card device, it should connect and it should re-establish the connection. Or so far, when I plugged and unplugged device on a network, they were automatically reconnecting as soon as all the devices were active on that network. Let me see what's going on here. Update status, reboot required. We're going to go reboot selected device. Update successful. We're going to hit close, and we'll see what's going on here. Can I press reboot again? Is it going to do something? I don't know. I'm just allowing some other stuff to happen in the background. So it should be now listed in the up-to-date, up-to-date device. What do we have? 3 device, which is my new Wing internal one. My oldest one, which is it's called internal, but I should change the name of that one. I'm gonna try it. Let's try to do this. I'm gonna change the order of thing here. I'm gonna do my Dante controller first for you guys to see. We'll take a look at the device info, and I want to go here, and I'm gonna go device config. If I'm not renaming it and press let's just call it Wing Dante. Let's call it Wing Dante. I'm going to press apply. Yes. It's going to reboot. Name has been changed. Wing Dante. It's called Wing Dante everywhere. What's up, OD? Welcome to the stream. It's been a while, man. How's the weather in Texas? Your comment says the only problem using a DHCP is if you have the NICS on the same machine than the Dante due to be configured without a gateway IP address. Otherwise, Dante controller can have subnetting issues. I'm not even sure I understand the full sentence, but okay, I think I understand. What I did on my network is I dedicated a physical input, a physical network card from my computer to my Dante network, and I leave it to DHCP, so the network the side of the IP of that device, so it connects to the other. You can also use dedicated switch for Dante and NDI. Yeah, sure, Charlie, that will work. But Dante do not require DHCP. It will default to the 196, not usually 168.1 point something for your subnet network. But this is all network stuff, guys. I don't know that enough to. I understand what you guys are talking about. I understand the problem that you can face with these, but this is way too advanced for me right now to talk about it. I understand. I use it. I've made my way around, but to talk about it and give out information, it's a little too advanced. I'm not gonna go there. For that, there's some stuff that I know my way around, and I'm gonna stick to that just for. Make my information as accurate as possible, because I've been flagged in the past of give out information that I'm not too I don't have all the knowledge that I needed to provide them. So right now, lesson learned, I stick out of that game. But please, if you want to learn about Dante, go learn that. If you want to learn about network, there's a billion of channel on YouTube that will tell you how networking is working, how to set up like stuff in server. I start to do that at my place because 2023, who doesn't have Home Assistant or trying to have Home Assistant? So yeah, it's a fun world to dive into, but I'm not feeling confident enough to teach about that at all. Like, not my cup of tea that I'm gonna stick to how to make a band sound good on stage. This is where I'm really good at. Okay, now let's do one more thing that I know where I'm going with this. On my Wing Dante card, the one that is there, the bottom one on the screen, you can force a firmware change on this. What I mean is, I took out the card from that little card right there that used to be originally on this card. Do I have the card here? It will be easier to show now. Hold on. I have the physical card somewhere. Oh no, it's in the console. But I took out that little Dante Brooklyn card and drop it in my console and flash the firmware on it, so it would be recognized from the console as an internal card. So if you can get your hand on a card like this and don't want to use it externally, you don't want to lose your W Live card because you want to use the SD card because it's so fun to use SD card to record and play back live shows, you can take the card out of this, drop it inside your console, and do exactly what I'm going to do right now and replace the firmware on it for a different one. It's been a while since I've done this, but we're going to figure out. There's a way to force update a device. I think I can do is go into the library, looking for wing Dante 64. I believe the Dante 64 is it the good one? I think I'm going to ask my friend Rob in the chat. He probably knows. What's the good one for the external sound card? I'm going to start with just type wing and search for the wing. What do we have? Only 2. So I'm going to go by deduction here. If the original one was... if the one for the internal one is called just wing 64, wing Dante 64 will probably be the expansion one. So we're going to start to copy the local. Okay, import firmware. I don't want to import firmware. Cancel. No, it's not what I want to do. How do you force a update? Up to date, up to date. Can I go on this one and do a force update? Yes, it's Dante 64 for expansion. Thank you very much. Okay, can I go into, is it in the fail-safe mode? Hold on, I'm downloading some stuff. Can I reset it into the safe mode? It's been a while. I know that you can manually force a firmware on a device. Okay, no, that's good. Library, that's good. Imported file, that's the one. Okay, good. How do you, if anybody has a clue in the chat that ever done this, I thought it used to be from here. Hold on. Okay, okay, okay. Imported firmware file. I click on my wing Dante card and imported firmware available for this device is the one, but this one is the 64. I'm gonna go action reload, and it should flash it to, I'm gonna do an update now. It should flash it to its original state, because I believe now, because it's back on the is external card tray, it's been recognized as a external card. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I could be wrong on this, but this is where you do the update, or at least I believe this method will help me to flash it back to where it has the original firmware. But if this is not working, send me an email. I think I have an email somewhere from a really cool gentleman that sent me the process a couple of years ago, because when I flash it to be a internal card, it was doing this. But my guess is, if it was working the way that I did it right now, it would do the same thing. If you drop in your card inside the console, it should do it. So I'm gonna go reboot, and once that reboot, I believe that I can close my Dante updater. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, wing Dante, it's recognized as a wing Dante card, so that's good. I can close the updater. Now, do I have my stuff at the right? I'm doing this. Is it good for you guys? No, I can go a little more this way. Better, not too high. Okay. I should rename that before I mix them up. I don't need to have that broken too. I can just call it wing internal and press apply. It should reset. It's good. It's good, and it's connected to my wing internal. My stuff is working. Product version, firmware, we're all up to date on that. So that's basically it. I just updated and renamed both card to be what they really are. So my internal card is now displayed on my Dante controller as internal. My wing Dante card is now internal and has the right firmware on it. It will be displayed in the model name here. Version is all up to date. 4.2.3.13 is the latest one, and everything is connected the way they should. Now, let's go over a couple questions in the chat, see what you guys are up to, and in the matter of keeping that stream interesting, if I don't have any question, we'll call it a day, because I want people that watch this in playback. Thank you very much for everybody that watching in playback. Really appreciate the fact that you take some time off to watch this stream. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Okay, first question here is from David Ramirez. Hi, question. I want to connect my wing to the DJ software Tractor Pro. I want to control play button with my wing fader. Do you know how? I never work with Tractor Pro 3 DJ software, but if you have a way to add some kind of control, like OSC or MIDI, you can make yourself some control on the wing itself. If it's if the software is reading OSC and you have a learn function, you can probably have that happening. If not, MIDI, if you can know what kind of information the MIDI the software can understand from MIDI, you can just create a fader available or a knob, or in the custom control section you can create some knobs that you could play stop record out of that stuff. You could use that custom section to build whatever you want. To me, it will be easier in MIDI if you just want to have straight communication between the two, meaning using the USB in the back, using MIDI from there or the custom control from there, and build yourself some whatever you want. Could be the knob, could be a volume, could be the play stop record out of that. There's a way. I just don't know the MIDI software. I just don't know if the MIDI software could be used on the Tractor side. Costa Rica, pura vida. See. Oh, I wish I could visit one day. Maybe it's on the list. Now that for some reason that I'm getting older, I want to travel a little more than I used to when I was younger. So it's the plan for now. Fred, do you plan to send Dante card in Europe, like you said in your latest video? Yes, it will be available for international shipping. That's not a problem for me. Shipping from Canada is absolutely no problem internationally. I just don't know, maybe some other country like Australia. I can ship some stuff to Australia. I did in the past. You just will wait a really long time. Like a really, really long time, and it's going to be expensive because shipping is at your cost. So I don't mind shipping anywhere in the world. It's just a matter of you sending me your address, and yeah, we need a price. That will probably be on Reverb eventually. Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I'm done. I'm done with that card. That box right there. We'll be able to ship probably tomorrow. Well, I'm kind of busy, but as soon as the live stream is done, I will set up a Reverb listing for that, and I will put the Reverb listing in the description below. If you give me like 10 to 20 minutes after it's done, I'm gonna take some picture of the card and make sure it's gonna be it's gonna be able to be purchased anywhere in the world on a Reverb. I want to use Reverb just because I have a Reverb account. Maybe eBay is a better option. Guys, let me know in the chat if eBay is a better option for you. It's just Reverb is like not taking that much of a commission, and like the Reverb fee are probably less expensive than eBay. But if you really want it, like Fred, which one do you want, Fred? You want the the wing external one, or you want that card. Actually, this one is probably going to end up on eBay for parts, because it will be a auction, and I believe I will get more out of it out of an auction. And buy at your own risk. Buy at your own risk. This one will be priced to sell and will be announced as 4 parts not working. Buy at your own risk. I do not guarantee anything from that card. I try to make it work. It wasn't working for me. I know some people wanted to buy it at some point when I first declared that card dead a couple of years ago, or a year ago when I first bought it. Not working for me. Not working at all for me. If you can save it, if you got the knowledge, if you got the tool, be my guest. So this one will be on eBay for sure. I believe this one will be better suited on Reverb. And while I'm here, let me know if you got a sweet deal on a X32 card. I'm on the lookout for that. I know it's been back order from pretty much everywhere for the last year or so. So if you have a Dante X32 card that you want to get rid of, all I'm gonna say is I need one for my X32 core, because now I have Dante in my wing. I will have Dante in my X32 card, so it will be a backup plan for me to run a single line of single or dual line of cable between all my device. Because in my X32 core rack, I have a core and I have a DL251 in there, and I'm using the core as a converter. If I ever want to do some backtrack and stuff like that, I can do this from the wing, or I will be able to do this from the Dante card and send that into the wing. So it will be a backup plan if I ever go in a room where they only have Dante and there's no way I can run my Snake. If I can just get a network cable on the network switch on Dante, I can assign my stuff there, and I can probably even, and I want to try this at some point, run my DL251 from be converted into my core and run that with other console, maybe something like a Digico or Yamaha. I believe the Digico will work great if I can get sound. If I can get like full control, well, I can actually get full control of the 42 preamp of the DL251 with my X32 core and use it just as a converter to send that into other consoles. So imagine having the power of the Midas Blue preamp with something like a Digico. If you cannot have like a HD96, it will be a really, really cool option. So, hence, just joined today? Welcome to the stream. This is what I'm doing every Monday. Usually I'm more at the console. My console is back there. This is the usual setup that I do, but when I do some stuff on the computer, this is my less beautiful view of my side face. Your question is, watch many of your replays. So, okay, it's your first time watching the live. Quick recap. Were you able to get 128 channel combined between the two internal cards? And actually, they are available, but the virtual sound card from Dante do not allow you to do it. The only thing that you can do is use two computer. Well, you have options. You have use two computer, record 64 track on one, 64 track on the other, or if you're on Mac, you can create a aggregated device with your USB port and the Dante virtual sound card. That'll give you 112 channel in and out, so a lot of stuff can happen there. But yeah, it would that would work. That would work you both way. You can figure out a way to make it work. But if you only want to record from one computer, not worth it. This is what I named the video. You should not, well, I said on Facebook, I did not name the video that, but what I said on Facebook is it's not worth it to buy both card. You only need one, because you need two computer to make it work anyway. So just buy one card plus the USB. It give you 112 input. Seriously, it's a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can make your way with 112 input. If not, well, okay, the third workaround would be to buy a PCI Dante card. but I believe from my research on eBay and other places that they are around $2,000. So it's probably cheaper to buy another computer than buying a PCI Dante card. Just my opinion. You do you. And I hope it comes with a license at that price, but I believe you still need to buy a virtual sound card license to make that work, because I believe it's network speed that is not up to par with what we got. Or maybe do I need a 10 gig network between all my devices to make that work? That's another question for another day. I do not have the answer for that, but somebody that got an answer is Robert. That says tractor as a learn function. You find all that under preference and control manager, so you can probably do some really cool stuff with the wing and tractor. I'm working with 7 other ambisonics. That is 64 channel. What is ambisonic? Sorry if it's studio stuff. I'm not up to speed on these. I'm not a studio guy at all. I just do live work. And now apparently I'm doing some video. I start to film around with some friends, and I'm doing videos for a lot of people. So the Atmos stuff. This is, I know what it is, the Atmos stuff, but Dolby Atmos is not my cup of tea. It has nothing to do with live stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. I cannot use Dolby Atmos live into a PA, so this is why I did not put interest in that. So we've been going for about an hour. If you guys don't have any more question, that will be it for the stream today. I cannot thank you enough for being with me this afternoon. It's always a pleasure to be out here and spend some time with you guys. We together have so much knowledge. Me on some stuff, other people on other stuff. I know a big shout out to Rob in the chat. Thank you very much, Rob. Other people here, like Odie, gave us some really good information about network. Usually Patrick he's been missing a couple streams, but Patrick is usually here with us, and Andy is usually here with us, and they gave us really, really good information about anything that is wing related. Thank you very much, guys. You guys are the reason why these live streams are interesting to watch. If I just do this by myself, it would not be fun. You guys are such a help. Thank you. For those of you that watch these live streams, thank you very much. I really appreciate that you do so, and I hope that you learned something. Thank you, Andy. How stable is the 251? Can it be mixed with a DL32 and SC2 at the same time? They cannot daisy chain together, but if you have a wing, you can use a single port per device. So use a port for the DL251 and use 2 port for your DL32 or S16 or different ports, because the black box, I'm gonna call them that, the black box from Midas do have the daisy chain option when they are up to date firmware wise, but the DL251 do not allow daisy chain. Anyway, you are limited to 48 channel in and out on AS50. So if you have a 251 on it, you already maxed out the amount of input available, so that would not work. You cannot have more input on that AS50 line, but if you have more than one line, you can have up to, I don't know, 48 times 3. That's the amount of input that you can get on the wing, plus the USB stuff, plus the AS3, plus there's so much you can do on the wing. Seriously, people still ask me, is the wing worth it? I would say just for the amount of I/O that you can do with this thing, and when you start to think about it, you don't even need to use the console itself to run preamp gain and do some routing stuff, because the console can route every single in and out without using it on the console. Let me clear that up. If you want to do recording, let's say that what we did today, 128 input plus the 48 channel of USB, you can plug how many? Let me get my calculator out. You can plug 48 times 3 is 144 channel there, plus you have plus 16 channel local. That's 160 input that you can manage with the wing. Take that, do some gain in the source section. You can flip the phase, you can do some gain, you can take that, route that into output, like Dante output, and the USB output, and record that into one or two computer. If you have the expensive PCI Dante card that can do 128 input, and you create a aggregated device with the USB, so it will be 128 plus 60, no, not 128 plus 48 channel. It would allow you to get 176 channel recorded into a computer, and that's not using the console. That's just dealing with preamp, control, and doing your stuff. So let's say in a more realistic scenario, if you are doing a band and you are fully loaded channel wise, but you want to do a recording for a band, and you want to add some more stuff, let's say a second kick mic, you want to have crowd, you want to have, I don't know, a LTC time code that you take in from the camera. If you want to sync that in post, you can do all that stuff and not use it on the console, but use the console to preamp level that stuff and send it to a recording. It will not use any channel. So the amount of power that you have on the wing is amazing for the price. It's seriously, I don't know when I'm gonna max out the wing. When it comes to X32, personally myself, I'm using an X32 to the full amount that it can deliver, and I can still get away with it. But on the wing, with 4 times the processing of an X32, the amount of rack that you get, the amount of customization that you get, the flexibility of the in and out cannot be beat. Not for the price. There's other consoles that sound better, work better, have more flexibility, but if you add a 0 to the price, that's basically it. And I do not have that 0 to spend on another console, seriously. Now, when I'm thinking about it, I will do an announcement. I personally changed car, and now I don't know if my wing is going to fit in the back of my car. Eventually, not now, eventually I would need something smaller. I'm still hoping for some stuff to arrive on the market soon. Life is slowly, getting back up to speed. People want to have good sounding console. So maybe we will have either a little wing, I'm going to call it that way. I have absolutely no information if or when there will be a smaller version of the wing, but I believe there will be a rack version, like an M32R version of the wing, or a rack version. But for now, the wing is too big, and I'm looking for other option. I would like to have a wing, smaller version of the wing that will be in my price range, or if the Midas 96 Air ever end up on the market, it's been prototype. If it ever end up on the market, this is probably where I'm gonna head at. The DM3 with Dante looks cool. It would not be enough channel for me. I cannot, if it was maybe 16 mono or stereo input, I could get away with that, like up to 32 channel, like on the wing, but 16 channel is not enough for me to do the bands that I'm working with. I'm usually close to 32 input. So if I could get something, because I'm doing a lot of stereo stuff, like you know, drum overheads, stereo guitars now is a big thing for me. Everybody got a modeler and they all want to be stereo effect. So yeah, the stereo tracks are cool, but to me it will be limiting to go down to 16 input. But sure, if I want to have just a small console running something over Dante, it will be awesome, but 16 input is just not enough. I would need 16 stereo. If I could get 16 stereo and I just shorting down my bands, you know, you get rid of the ride mic, or you're just running one kick and one snare. Because when you think about it, a regular band is like kick, snare, a hat. Most of the drummer would, or band, like to have the hi-hat, 2 or 3 toms, a pair of overhead, a mono bass, 2 stereo guitar, maybe 2 lines, some down of keyboard. You end up over 32 really quick. Add some vocal on top of that and you are full out. So 32 channel will be a minimum for me. If a smaller version of the wing with 32 channel instead of 48 would exist, it would still do. No, I did not change that Behringer 77. I did not change for a Fiat. I did change for a smart car again. I'm a smart car owner. It's been my fourth one, smart car number 4. But this one is electric, so I'm now running a full-on EV electric smart, and I'm loving it so far. Even let's see for the summer. I made the move, I think, in the right time. I changed it for the summer. Let's see how it goes through the summer, how much kilometers I can get on it before the winter come in, and yeah, let's see what I can do with that. But it's a little smaller on the inside than the other one, and I want to keep it really clean. So because the other one was all beat up and scratched up, because for some reason I didn't like that car. Sorry. But yeah, yeah. A wing rack. Just construct yourself a wing rack. Oh, I'm pretty sure I can do it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Tesla Model Y will be great for the wing. Yeah, sure. If you want to do a trade, I'm more than willing to trade my smart car for a Y model. It's just a matter of budget at that point. I'd rather spend that money on a new console. If I'm being honest, what I would like to get is a HD 96 Air. I believe it will be the best bang for the bucks. Amount of good quality powerhouse into a smaller footprint. All console aside, Digico, whatever, I believe the Midas would be my first choice if money was not an issue. But space is always an issue for me. I like to have stuff that is efficient and small. So the 96 Air would be my personal go-to. Maybe one day Behringer will release just a smaller desktop version of the wing with just a screen on it. It would be really fun to see that. Like a rack version, but with a screen and just, you know, some like custom fader. If somebody want to do this, if somebody has the knowledge to do this, it would be great. But I don't believe it. But I believe they will probably try to do something closer to the M32R. Or I wish they could do something closer to the M32R. It's my favorite console of all the bunch from the M or X family. And a lot of people like it too because you have the multiple layer bank of 8. You can have any layer of 8 fader on the console in the 2 different fader positions. So I believe the footprint is interesting for those console. If they, I don't know, if they ever made something smaller, I will jump the gun for sure. But for now, I'm keeping the wing. I'm keeping it. It's just a matter of in the future, I don't see myself carry it around a flight of stairs. I'm still, for those of you who don't know, I had a car accident about 2 months ago, and I'm still hurt. Well, I'm fine, but it's still a hurt from time to time because I broke one of the bone in my back. You know, it's called the sacrum. It's the last bone, in V in your back. One of the point of that bone just cracked during the car accident, so it still hurt, and I don't see myself carrying that console with the case and everything. It's getting heavy after a while. Put that one flight of stair up is a project every time that I'm taking it out. So to avoid that, I would like to have something that fits sideways in the back of my car, like an M32R. It would be great, but I don't know. I want to keep moving forward. I would not go back to M32R. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just feature-wise, once you taste something like the wing, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back at all. So on that note, I think it's been a really cool show. I want to say thank you guys for being here with me. Really appreciate the time that you take out of your day to be here with us, and I hope you learned something. If you learned something, or if you like that video, give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel and you're watching this in playback, subscribe and ring the bell so you will get notification of when I'm going live. I'm going live every Monday at 1:30 Eastern Time, Eastern American Time, PM. If you want to know compared to your time what it is, Google what time is it in New York. It will tell you exactly, because I'm on the same time zone as New York. So Google what time is it in New York and convert that to whatever is 1:30 p.m. for me to your time. And if you want to support me in what I do here, think about becoming a member or a super member of the channel. Super member get access to video conversation with me where I can help you guys troubleshoot your stuff, working on some file. If you want to have, I don't know, presets, I can build you some stuff for your needs. And yeah, I give that 1 hour. I give 1 hour away of my time to every member of the channel, super member of the channel. So if you are a super member and you want to reclaim your time, please send me an email. You got my email in the description down below, and it will be a pleasure for me to reply and schedule an appointment with you. On that note, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next week for another Monday live stream. Take care of yourself. Later, guys.